guys, it is SCP Reader here, and today for the SCP we will be reading is SCP-003, Biological Motherboard. Item Number SCP-003, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-003 is to be maintained at a consistent temperature of no less than 35 Celsius and ideally kept above 100 Celsius. No living molecular organisms of category IV or higher complexity may be allowed to come in contact with SCP-003. In event of total power failure, if SCP-003-1 begins to increase its mass, assigned personnel must engage in skin contact with SCP-003-1. Ideally, personnel must use their body heat to return SCP-003-1 to above critical temperature. However, skin contact must be maintained. Event in SCP-003 reaching activation of temperature lasting at a minimum until SCP-003-1 advances fully to its second growth stage. Personnel who enters SCP-003's containment area must first be examined for the body parasites of category IV or higher complexity and sterilized if such organisms are present. All personnel who have come in physical contact with SCP-003-1 are immediately report to sterilization afterwards. SCP-003-1 must not be removed from SCP-003-2, except in case of emergency procedures detailed above. Any significant change in SCP-003-2's rune activity, including pattern, frequency, or color, should not be reported within 3 hours of occurrence. Cessation of rune activity must be reported immediately. SCP-003-2 must be supplied with power via resources designated generator 003-IX at all times. Description: as SCP-003 consists of two related components of a separate origin, referred to as SCP-003-1 and SCP-003-2. As SCP-003-1 appears to be composed of chitin, hair, and nails of unknown biology, arranged in a configuration similar to the predate earliest known circuit boards by a factor of thousands of years. As SCP-003-1 is considered sentient but not actively dangerous except under certain conditions. As SCP-003-1 was found on a stone tablet, as SCP-003-2 on which it currently resides. The runes on SCP-003-2 are not part of any known language and emit pale flickering light patterns. As SCP-003-2 is controlled by a non-biological internal computer, the contents of which are most inaccessible without risking of damage SCP-0032. As SCP-0032 is capable of controlled emissions of radiation, including heat, light, and anomalous radiation types. SCP-0032 contains an internal power source of an anomalous nature, which appears to have been losing power since several centuries before discovery. It is considered probably that SCP-0032 was created for the purpose of containing SCP-0031, but particularly interpreted data covered from SCP-0032 may refer to a past and or potential future LK class restructuring event caused by SCP-0031. SCP-003 was located by Remote Viewing Team SRV-04 Beta. It appears possible that SRV-04 Beta was deliberately contacted by SCP-0032. Other organizations have also been alerted to SCP-003's existence, but possibly by similar means. Despite the activity, as SCP-0032 does not appear to be essentially based on its lack of reaction to MO3 Gloria analysis and procedures. When SCP-003 drops below the temperature 35 Celsius, both components react. First, SCP-003 enters a growth state characterized by an exponential increase of mass. This growth consists of two stages in both stages. SCP-003-1 particularly fuels its growth by converting matter around it, starting with any surrounding organic material, including atmospheric elements. Then non-living organic material includes cells of dead skin, hair, chitin, enamel, and keratin, and other biological materials. The first stage is always the same. SCP-001 will first increase its mass, then take its form similar to the shape of a brittle star, known as an Orpheus. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry. Of 15 meters in diameter, including what appears to be a central processor of 3 meters in diameter, and it will form organs that appear to scan its surrounding environment and particularly convert the area around it into an identified anomalous substance. SCP-0032 seems immune from conversion. Yeah. The second stage describes a growth alteration which occurs when SCP-003 comes in contact with living organic material. SCP-003 appears to template itself off organic material, and will attempt communication with the organisms that match its intel template or templates. In its second stage, SCP-003-1 may pause, slow, or change its growth, and will also convert inorganic and non-living or organic elements into functionally similar structures, while anomalously altering their physical makeup. While growth is consistent in the first stage, in the second stage, SCP-003-1's growth rate is diminished by 20 90%. So long as SCP-0031 remains in contact with a living organic material, the percentage is determined by the complexity of the organisms in contact with SCP-0031. SCP-0031 appears to devote a large amount of processing power to analysis of living organic material. During each of SCP-0031's growth stages, SCP-0032 releases bursts of radiation that temporarily inhibit SCP-003 growth or reverse the growth when the temperature of SCP-001 rises above 100 Celsius. So similar radiation emissions have been replicated or recorded via other anomalous means. As SCP-0031's biology have been subject of intensive study, significant elements have been identified similar to SCP-1512 and SCP-2756. The two have no further confirmed connection with SCP-003-1 and no known connection with each other, and none have which are fully understood. Technically, even less understood than SCP-003. Thanks to the intensive cross-disciplinary research on the SCP-003 objects, to date, no convincing analysis has been put forward which satisfactorily explains SCP-003-1's connection to these SCP objects or others, nor its connection to modern technology beyond appearance and a potential mixer via unknown mechanism. Okay, guys, I will be making a part 2. Let me screenshot this. I will be making a part 2, and I cannot read all of it right now. So I will probably be making a part 2 of this maybe tomorrow or in a few hours today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you can, and when you subscribe, if you want to be notified on new videos, turn on the notifications at all times or while you're on the app. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, okay. Say how you liked it in the comments or what I should work on. Okay, bye guys.